welcome you guys to the Full House Life. And guys, this is our very first episode. My name is Nick, and this is my beautiful and gorgeous wife, Lena.
Hello.
And we are the Gavrilovs. And we're just going to take you on a journey, guys. This is our very first episode, so expect a lot of mistakes and vulnerability.
That's right. We're not professionals.
No, and nor do we want to be professionals,
That's
especially in this world. But we're just so excited to finally start this podcast because we've just been getting a lot of encouragement and recommendations like, hey, can you guys start something? And for those of you who don't know us or our family, we have 9 beautiful, fine kiddos aging 18 all the way down to 4 months. And our heart in this is to just encourage others along the way to glorify Christ to the fullest.
That's right.
Yeah, we are Bible-believing Christians, and we just see the value of living our life to live out His will, not ours. Because the moment we start living out His will, that's when our lives began to change.
That's right. And we just hope that this encourages you and a blessing to you. Please let us know. We're always open to hearing from you what you would like for us to talk about, and if there's anything that we need to work on ourselves as far as the way we deliver the message. And we just want to do this humbly and ultimately bringing God the glory.
Oh yeah, guys, we are nowhere perfect. We are far from being perfect, but there's just been so many things that we have learned along the way from having kiddos and our marriage and our faith and all these things. So why don't we just jump right in? Like, who are we? Who are you?
I am a stay-at-home mama, and I homeschool my children. We have been homeschooling since the very beginning. Started with our oldest, Isabella. She was 5, and she is now graduated. We have our first one to graduate, which is really exciting. She's excited the most.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and she graduated when she was 17?
Yes,
right.
She graduated earlier.
Yeah, so that was cool. And then myself, I am a certified nutritionist, so I help families, people with their health. I also own a real estate company where we're kind of in 15 states right now. So it's a small flip company. So that's been kind of exciting. But before that, I used to work at the post office. But why don't we just go maybe further back in, like how it all started, how we started dating.
Okay, yeah, it goes back all the way to Sacramento, California.
Sacramento! So we're from Sacktown. I came to the States when I was 4 from Russia, and you were 8.
I was 8, yeah.
And so we were in Sacramento, and so you were 14, I was 15.
That's right.
And we laid eyes on each other, and we just started exchanging notes, right? Like letters.
Yes, letters. We still have in a shoebox.
Yes.
Under our bed.
And we said we'd open them up 10 years later.
I think we did. And then we decided, let's do even later. So This year, Lord willing, it'll be 20 years.
Yes.
And we could do that.
Excellent. So we started dating. Well, I guess you called it dating, but back then, guys, we were public school. So for those of you who know what public school is, like people are dating at age 7, 8, 9, 10 nowadays. I mean, oh my goodness, like just yesterday, one of our neighbors, had a breakup, and I don't know how old our neighbor is, but probably
he was sad. Poor guy.
Was he like 10, 9,
I
8?
think so, maybe 9.
Yeah, so so that's the world that we were brought up in. And so we were dating, but we weren't really going places. We just saw each other at youth events and choir practices in church and things like that. So we're just exchanging our things. So we are 100% against that. Would you say?
Oh, yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though I'm really thankful that the Lord has given me such a wonderful man. And for 5 years, we got to know each other before we got married. I remember must have been 13. I was not just praying, but fervently praying. I really had a crush on this guy from church, and I really like Nick said, public school mind. Like I want him to be my boyfriend, but I knew ultimately it'll be the way God will make it be. And so I remember fervently praying, Lord, please help me to have just one guy. I don't want to jump from boyfriend to boyfriend. I don't want any breakups. Please just give me the one. And the funny thing is, it's, well, as we know, the Lord works in his own ways. And so that guy was never the guy he had in mind for me. Instead, Nick came out of nowhere, really unexpected. And I couldn't be more blessed and happier that that's how it ended up. And
thank you.
Yes.
I feel the same exact way, you know, and I wish I said the same prayer too, but that thought has not come to my mind. So anyway, so we definitely don't want to awaken, you know, love before it's time. I mean, our oldest is 18 and she recently just started, you know, dating and getting to know somebody. So this is so exciting. It's a new journey for us too.
Yeah.
And we're just learning, and we're also gleaning from other families and other couples who have, you know, have gone through this path before us, and we're just constantly seeking advice, like, what do we do here, what do we do there, how do we...
That's right. Yes. And we hope that you guys will be encouraged through our mistakes. You know, we're not here to tell you we've done things perfectly. In fact, we want to be really open with you guys and ultimately just share our life. And we're not perfect, but we are learning. The Lord is working on us. He's sanctifying us. And we're just excited to be here as a form of encouragement for someone out there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm just thinking about even our church. You know, our church was totally okay with us walking around together.
Besides a few of the elders, you remember they gave you the talk.
Yes. Well, there's one, this particular one said, don't you ever tell her that you love her. Save that for your wife. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Too late.
Yeah. But being this young, we've made many mistakes, and I'm thankful to the Lord that purity was important to us. But even so, it was very hard, and we've still made mistakes, repented over them many times, and thankfully the Lord has saved us for each other, and we were able to get married, and here we are almost 20 years later.
Even looking back on our parenting, like, they were totally fine with us, you know, getting to know each other. I remember my dad, we're driving probably to work, and my parents own a pizza place. And I just remember my dad asking me, like, hey, so do you have any girls, you know, in your life? And I said, yeah, I do. And I shared a picture of you, and he's like, oh, okay. You know, who's her father? You know, what's the last name? So I said, and he's like, oh, okay. I know that family. So, I mean, there was just really not a whole lot of like live talks with our parents about even dating and just this avenue. So that's why I feel like we want to share a lot of wisdom that we have learned, and we're still, like Lena already mentioned, that we're trying to grow in these areas, and we're reading other books and talking to other folks. And so, yeah, we definitely want to talk about, you know, some more about that. Encourage a lot of, you know, many others or parents who have children who are, you know, dating and going through this season.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, so from there, we got married.
That's
in
right.
In the 2006.
And right after our honeymoon, we went straight to Washington State.
Washington State. Well, we went to our honeymoon first.
That's right. Right after our honeymoon.
Yes. It was like 2 days after our marriage. And it was so cool. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the fact that we were going to bed together and us thinking, oh my goodness, for 5 years. And by the way, we dated for 5 years. On our wedding day, it was exactly 5 years.
Yeah.
September 30th. And I remember in October when we are on our honeymoon, I'm like, I can't believe we're not going back home. We're not separating.
We don't have to go. Nobody's calling us.
Yes. So it was so much fun. We got to do whatever we wanted. I got a buzz cut, I remember, on a honeymoon.
On the honeymoon, yeah.
And what else? I mean, we did everything.
We did all the things on our honeymoon. Someone told us, you know, later on when children will come, you won't be able to do all the activities. So we went horseback riding. We went snorkeling. We went swimming with dolphins.
Yes.
We did parasailing. We did a dinner on the beach.
Oh,
I mean,
that was
everything.
so nice.
Everything they
riding
offered.
Horses on the beach too.
Yeah. I
nice.
mentioned that one.
Okay, and then we did quads and scooters and.
Which was probably kind of dangerous. We just went to a part of town on scooters where nobody spoke English. And
oh man, that was crazy.
I remember trying to explain to the hair stylist, shave it all off. And she was so confused.
She's like, what do you want? I think we showed her a picture finally, took out her phone.
Yeah.
So we had a wonderful honeymoon. It was 7 days from what I remember.
Yeah.
And we wished it was 10.
That's right. So if you're going to take a honeymoon,
yes,
don't even second guess. Take a little longer.
Yeah. And I've also heard some people say, you know, they did 2 weeks and they're like, it's just way too much. You want to get back to life. Mm-hmm. You want to get things going. Yeah. So I think 10 days is a sweet spot.
That's right. Then we came back from the honeymoon, packed all of our life belongings in our, was it my Honda?
It was just your stuff because I was
Oh,
already living there.
that's
Remember?
right, that's
So
right.
just a quick little recap. So my dad moved to Washington to build a house, and he was retiring from. So he was a pastor of one of the largest churches. I think it's the largest Baptist church in.
Sacramento?
Well, no, I think it's in U.S.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the largest Russian Baptist church.
Okay.
I might be wrong, but I think that's the case. So anyway, so he stepped down from his position, and so he's like, you know what? I'm going to Bellingham. So in the early 90s, we toured around U.S., and my dad just loved Bellingham. We went all the way, not the entire East Coast, but midway, and then we did Canada, Kelowna, Vancouver, and just came all the way down, and he just loved Bellingham. He said, one day we're going to move here. Well, sure enough, 2004, yes. Yeah, we moved up to Bellingham, started building our family home, and then we got married. We did 2 years of long distance.
That was tough.
Oh,
Yeah.
tell me about that. What
That
so
was tough. Well, what was tough? Let's see. When you're young, you're still not mature.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still not mature in many ways, but
That's true.
like even being a teenager in long distance, Nick would call and be like, "Did you go to youth tonight?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Which guys did you talk to?"
I was jealous.
Yeah, I was like, are my friends, and he would just always think that every guy out there was after me or something.
100%. Like, I did not think I knew that.
No.
I actually had to get my cousins on a few guys. I'm like, hey, who's stalking my girl?
No, that's
No.
not true.
No.
But
For the guys listening, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I mean, we got to protect our girl. So that's what we're doing.
so yeah, I just remember thinking like, man, he's so controlling. If this is how we are when we're dating, how's my marriage gonna be? But I'm
Well.
just so thankful that marriage is nothing like that. It
Yeah.
was all the jealousy was gone after.
Oh, yeah. Because you're mine.
That's
Nothing to be
right.
jealous of.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I think because we've dated for so long, liked, crushed, and then actually did things as I got my license, and we went places, San Francisco, Los Angeles. I feel like we've kind of worked through those issues during.
We grew up together.
We grew up together in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely did. And that's a blessing.
Yeah.
And also,
Oh,
not something we recommend
Yeah.
to couples out there
True.
from such
But
a young age.
We became best friends, would you say?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we're still best friends.
That's right.
Even better. Like, what's better than best friends?
No, we'll probably touch on that later, but
Oh, yeah.
with years, it only gets better.
Oh, 100%.
If you are intentional in your marriage and if you want to be a team and
right.
you keep working at it, it's not easy.
Oof.
It's not like, oh, we're so perfect. No, nothing like that. We go through many struggles.
Yeah.
And, but the ups are very wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. So, and then we moved to Washington, we got married, and that's where we started having kids.
That's
so
right.
you were working full time.
Yes.
I had 2 jobs. I was working for Bank of America, and I just started working. So I did Bank of America for 3 years in California and then 2 years in Washington. And then I got a job at the post office. My sister told me, she's like, hey, apply. They have great benefits.
Yeah.
And I was like, who cares about benefits? Like, I never even thought about that until we started having kids. And the benefits are incredible at the
Oh,
post
yeah.
office. I mean, I remember we had our first kid, and I see the bill. It's like $12,000 or $14,000,
Something like that. Yeah.
and all we paid is like $150.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe it. So the benefits are incredible, and then you were working too.
When I was working at the hospital, moms would bring in their babies, and I was just got this biggest baby fever, and I was told him about it, and he was completely on board, and then we were like, okay, well, let's have a family.
Yeah, for sure. It was so exciting.
Yeah,
and
it
then
was.
and then once we had our first one, you went back to work for a
I
few
did
months.
for I think it was 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
and our first one, she did not take any bottles. She was exclusively breastfed, and so I remember working and having to go drive 30 minutes home to nurse her real quick and go back to work. And I just thought, I kept thinking like, this is ridiculous. What am I doing?
Yeah.
And especially like when your mom wasn't able to watch her, because the times that I did work, mostly your mom was with her.
Yeah.
But then mom would go to California, and we found someone to be with Bella, and I just felt so guilty. Like when it was with mom, I didn't feel as guilty. But then when it was a babysitter, I was like, we're paying everything I make to the babysitter so she can do my job for me. And I felt very convicted, like, no, this is not what I want to do. I don't want to be a working mom. And that was my conviction. And I told him about it. And what did you think?
I thought that was insane because at that point, our credit cards had been going up.
Yeah, we were building a home, right?
We just started building our home. We finished our home. I'm like, oh my goodness, because we had credit cards, a lot of it. And I remember we had 4 almost maxed out credit cards at that time. And I thought, this is going to drain our finances big time. Like, what are we going to do?
We were in the middle of building our first home.
Yes, that's right. And the home it wasn't even that big. I mean, it was 1,600 square feet with an unfinished basement, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. But I was just thinking, we cannot do this. And at that time, I already quit my bank job.
Yeah.
And I was only doing full time at the post office, driving to Everett, which was an hour every single morning, 6 days a week, an hour there, hour back. And I was like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? But I was like, I got to trust her because she was not backing out. She's like, for sure, like, this is what I'm going to be doing. And
well, I didn't like say it as like, bring down the hammer, honey, I'm quitting. This is it. But I think
you were convincing. You were convinced.
And you were kind of on board, but you were more like, what about the
Nervous.
finances?
Yes,
we're going to have to get on a budget.
Why? Because we love to spend money. I feel like we were so broke because we spent every penny.
We went shopping all the time.
We went to a lot of vacations too.
Vacations.
Jamaica, Dominican, Mexico, just kind of all over. And we did a lot of shopping. So we were just, I would say we were very foolish. We were never been taught how to even save money, make a budget, any of these things.
That's right.
So we just ranked up our credit cards. And but we still went with it. And it's the best decision ever made is having your wife at home. And because of that, it just kind of helped us grow even more in savings and things like that. So
that's right. We'll talk more about how we got out of debt.
For
That'll
sure.
be a great story to share.
Yeah, absolutely. So we built that house and then fast forward, we were in a church and it was a wonderful church. Yeah. We had a slight, I guess, theological shift, doctrinal shift, how you want to call this. So we went from, I guess, Arminianism to Reformed. For those of you who don't know, like Arminianism is just more of works and works. Like we were part of a church where, short sleeve, sorry, short dresses or skirts were not allowed. I mean, just rules upon rules. I mean, just no alcohol, no this, no that. And went to a church where not that all that is permissible, but there's been just continuous Bible teaching, verse by verse, expository preaching. And that just really, really opened up my eyes to so many things. And I was like, wow, we have so much freedom in Christ. So that was cool. And that just changed our lives. And then we built another home. That's another area where we just trusted the Lord. Like, Lord, what do we do next? So we paid off some of our debt. Well, not some, but all of it. $84,000 in 18 months, except our house. And then my good old buddy was like, let me help you pay off your house. And we're like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah. By help, he means like explain to you.
Like guidance, like, what to do. And the idea basically was to flip 2 homes. And then your third home, you should be kind of debt free.
That's right. Yes. And that was the last home we lived in.
Yep. In Washington. Sun Valley.
That's right.
Super gray. So for Washington,
super beautiful.
So yes, Washington itself is already great.
Washington is really beautiful, wouldn't you say?
I would say, it's very beautiful for 3 months only. In the summertime, that's when you have family coming to visit you, and you're just like, wow, they're so beautiful here. Like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But it is very gray. I think it's the #1 state for depression or suicide, one of those. I don't know. But
at least Seattle, and that's what I've heard about Seattle.
Yeah, well, I guess Washington in general.
Yeah.
But Eastern Washington, they get more snow, but they also get very, very warm summers. That's where we spent, camp outs and lakes and everything else in Wenatchee, Chelan.
I think over time we concluded that if we had family there, if like my parents moved over and his parents stayed there and his siblings, we would have stayed there. It's not that we were unhappy. We just felt really lonely at times because no family was nearby.
Yeah.
Even though we took several trips during the year to visit family and they would visit us. That was nice.
Yeah,
now
for
living
sure.
in Tennessee, I feel like we won't get that as much. We live
Yeah.
so far.
We are very far because,
Yeah.
like you said, we love family. We've driven down there. They've driven up,
Yeah.
and and then we decided to move to Tennessee.
Yeah, it was really nowhere, like we've never talked about
Never.
Tennessee.
It never even
Yeah.
came up on the radar and the maps. Nothing like that.
We prayed for a year and a half.
Yes.
Where do you want us, Lord? And
Yeah. Yeah. So just
why
a
did
little.
we move here?
So I think COVID happened, right? 2019, 2020, and my dad he said, "Hey, kids, we need to jump on a Zoom call. I have siblings. I have 3 brothers and a sister, and we were already kind of somewhat scattered across the U.S. So my brother was already in Florida, brother in Texas, and my brother and sister were in California, and they were talking about or considering possibly leaving California, and so we just said, yeah, let's do it. Let's move and be somewhere closer together, at least in one state. And everyone said, let's go to Florida. And we said, oh, right. Honestly, I was not excited.
Yeah, no, I don't think we wanted that because just of what we portrayed Florida to be. We just thought it's beach life.
Well, that's
and,
where we went on vacation
yeah,
too. And
it was a vacation basically. But we just said we'll pray about it.
we'll pray about
Yeah.
it. And that night we went to bed and we prayed about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then next morning I went to work and I sent an email to the Florida bosses. I'm like, hey,
Nick X fast.
if there's a mission, we're going all in. So I sent an email and they said, absolutely, come out here on a temporary detail. So that's what we did. I went out there for a 6-month detail and we were in Clearwater, Bel Air Beach. It was just so nice. We were there from November. It was supposed to be a 6-month, but then it quickly turned into not even a 4-month assignment.
Yeah, we went back in February.
Yeah. February.
The best time to be there, probably, right?
Oh my goodness, we loved it so much. Every day we were out doing
Yeah.
something, rollerblading, skating, going on walks, beaches,
Doing homeschool
swimming.
outside while he was at work. The
Yes.
only unfortunate part about that was you worked a lot,
Oh yes,
except
6
for when I
days
got
a
COVID.
week. Yes,
was
you got
good.
COVID, and so at that time, if someone had COVID at the post office,
Mm-hmm.
either if you had COVID or your family member, then you're exposed, so you would get 2 weeks paid off.
Yes.
So I was so excited because I wanted the weekend off, but they couldn't because I'm just here on a detail. So when my wife calls me, she says, "Hey, I got the China virus." I'm like, "No way."
I'm like, yes, I cannot smell this super garlicky dressing. Like literally nothing's coming out of there.
Yeah. I was like, "Are you sure?" Like, "Yes." I'm like, "Have you smelled a diaper?" And well, something smelly.
I was like, I can't even smell my coffee. It's not enjoyable.
Yes. So I was so glad because I came up to the boss and I was like, "Hey, listen, my wife got the virus and I'm going on for 2 weeks." And it was so cool because like none of us got the COVID. Like we were still sleeping together in one bed. And it's not like we were really isolating or anything.
Yeah.
But
I do remember some things. Like I remember it was kind of hard to breathe at some point. Like going to bed, like I felt like I needed to breathe deeper. And the loss of senses, like, but nothing more than that. I don't remember it being. It wasn't severe case, which
Yeah.
was nice, and
Yeah,
I'm
for
so
sure.
thankful for that. I know that's not the case for everyone, and many of you may have lost loved ones. We're definitely not making this a lighthearted thing
Oh, for
that
sure.
happened to people. I'm just thankful it wasn't so severe.
yeah.
But well, I'm sorry. What was it? What my point was that it was nice that you got to stay home
Yes. Yeah.
and finally get a little break from working
Exactly.
a bunch of hours.
And when I say we went places, like we didn't go with you, right? Because
No.
we didn't want to get spread the virus.
Yeah, no.
So,
the only place I went is on the secluded beach, but by the house. Remember
Yes.
that nobody was ever there.
That's right, private beach.
That's
yeah.
where I remember being.
So yeah, that was cool. So anyways, then we just thought we don't know, so we went back to Washington because my job called me back, and
that was probably the hardest season of my life, honestly.
why?
Well, because of where we went after we came back.
So we
was,
sold our house.
Yeah, we sold our home, so we had no home to come back to.
Yeah, so we put everything in storage, and then we came back. Like it wasn't planned because it was like within a few days. And my boss calls me, says, "I need you ASAP," and within probably 3 or 4 days, we had to pack things up and head back home. So we're going there. We're like, we don't know where we're gonna stay. Like, what is happening, Lord? Like, this is so difficult.
And I was pregnant. I was pregnant with
Oh
Rosie. It was
yes,
my first trimester. I remember being super nauseous.
yes.
Trying to clean up this Airbnb really well. I had the sweetest cousin come over, Lily. Thank you so much again. She came over and helped me clean that whole Airbnb, and we kind of kept it a secret from our relatives at that point because we wanted to announce to family on our way back to Washington. We
Yeah.
stopped in California, remember? And
Oh, I do
we
remember.
announced that we are expecting.
Yeah,
But it's the place where we will be for the next months and months
Yeah.
is what made it hard.
yeah. Because we stayed in a mobile home, right? And we thought this would be just a few weeks.
Yeah.
And
It was a pretty small space for us, which was not the problem really. We learned a lot of things during that time,
Yeah.
but I developed a really bad congestion. And I don't know if it was pregnancy related or what, but it was
pregnancy rhinitis.
something like that. Yeah. Well, at least that's what the doctor said.
Mm-hmm.
And they said it'll go away once you have the baby. And I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, we can't wait.
I was so miserable. I remember
sheesh.
this home was pretty small. Like the ceilings were tiny, and I remember waking up, and this is the first time I felt what a panic attack. I could compare it to a panic attack, and I just couldn't. Like I'm a nose breather, and I can't breathe with my nose. I remember having like 2 or 3 pillows propping me at night, literally almost sleeping sitting.
Yeah.
And I remember you bringing me so many tissue boxes. I'm always like, I'm out of tissues.
You poor thing.
Things that I've tried, nothing worked until something worked, which I'll mention later.
Yeah.
But it was a very hard time. And not only the congestion, it was like such a weird time transition. Like, what are we doing? Are we
Yes.
moving?
Yeah.
Are we going to stay in this manufactured home for a while?
So again, this is 2021, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the housing market was just going bananas in Washington. It was crazy. It was so hard for us to find any rent.
Yeah.
I remember we were looking at homes in the 3,500 to 4,000
Yeah.
range
Yeah.
per month, and that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that
And
was definitely out of our budget.
way out of
Yeah.
our budget. But we're like, we just need something, and we still kept getting denied. I was like, what are we gonna do?
I remember emailing people with our picture of our family, like,
Yes.
"Hey, I know we're a big family, but we have mostly daughters, and they
Yeah.
clean,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we'll keep your home as if it's our home."
True, I remember
But
that.
we did not get any rentals at
Yeah,
all.
nothing. So we were just thankful that the man who let us stay in his mobile home, he
Yes.
just kept extending that and just saying, "Hey, whatever you guys need, it's yours." So
Yes, that family was so kind to us.
yeah, so I mean, it was tiny, you guys. I mean, if you can just imagine, we had 7 kiddos at that point.
Yes,
7th
6.
one,
Yep, Rosie was
Rosie
born.
was
She
born.
was the 7th.
so 8th.
8th was Zadok.
Zadok. That's right. Sorry. No, we don't ever lose track of our kids.
No.
So yeah, Rosie was born. So imagine 7 kiddos and 2 of us in I want to say about 1,000 square foot manufactured home, and for 9 months, 10
For 9
months,
months.
10 months.
I remember in Birch Bay,
Yes.
I'm pregnant, nauseous, and driving every day by that bay where it smelled like,
Oh my
what did it
goodness.
smell like?
Sewer.
Like a pond. Like,
Yeah,
But
like
it was,
rotten egg
rotten eggs. Yes,
Yes.
that's exactly what it smelled like.
every time.
And I remember telling you, I cannot wait till I don't have to drive by here anymore.
I remember there was literally never a day where it did not smell in that specific area.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I remember-
And you don't even have that great of a sense of smell, and you smelled it.
Exactly. Like my nose is not the greatest, but I remember people coming to us like, "Is there a weird smell when we pull up to your house?" We're like, "Yeah, there is, right by the water there." But that's how Rosie got her name, right? We were
yes.
in the manufactured house. We were looking out the sky. And we couldn't think of a name.
And she was due in about 2 weeks. We
Ooh,
still didn't have a
really?
name. Yeah,
That close?
it was that close.
Wow. And we're like, we don't know what to name her. And we're just looking at the sky, and it was so rosy, like pink,
The
purplish.
sunsets were so beautiful
Oh, yes.
there, Birch Bay. Yeah.
Yeah. And we were like, wow, that is so rosy. And then we both kind of have our heads turned to each other like, Rosie? okay, we're going somewhere. So that's how Rosie was
Yeah.
born. Well, with that name.
Yeah.
So, anyways, let's see. We don't want to bore you too much, but anyways, that was another difficult season. Not just because we're in this small, tiny manufactured house with a bunch of kiddos, but also it was a year and a half. And at that point, we were already considering of moving, leaving Washington, because we had a little taste of family. We have a bunch of family out in Florida, my side of the family.
It was so sweet to have family nearby. I remember they made us feel so special. Like
Christmas.
your uncles and aunts.
Yeah.
Christmas, we just,
Woke
this
up.
was the first time we woke up and there's presents by the door.
I was like, what? So my sweet uncles and aunts just stopped by and brought us presents.
Yeah.
That was so nice of them.
For the children. Yeah. They were so excited.
Yeah, guys, and we are very people. Like I grew up, we kiss all my brothers, my siblings, my parents, my uncles and aunts, my cousins. Like till this day, like we go out to Florida or California, and when I see my family, we're always kissing each other, and that's
On the
just how
cheek.
we are. On the cheek, yes. No lip kissing, that'd be weird.
But I didn't grow up that way. I remember when we started, getting to know each other, and you brought me into one of the parties where all your family was gathered, and everyone's like, hugging and kissing, and I was like, oh my goodness, I felt so like I'm not.
Out of place.
This is out of place for me because I did not grow up huggy and kissy, and
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But I mean, that's just kind of, how our parents taught us. Like I didn't know otherwise. I mean, we did it everywhere. After church, we'd come out and just kiss each other. I don't even know what people thought, but for us, it was just so normal because that's what we did.
that's how you greeted each other.
Yeah, for sure. So anyways, we tasted family. We tasted the sunshine living in Washington for 15 years.
And especially also tasted a different atmosphere. Yeah, even just the environment was different. Just being in Florida felt a lot more free, and we loved it.
I couldn't believe. I remember when we drove. So we drove out there. So we sold our house. We put all of our stuff in storage. We rented a U-Haul, and we have a Sprinter van of 12-seater. And we were pulling a dolly, and on our dolly, we were pulling my car. So we were driving across the states, and the moment we left Washington, you're stopping at these places, state parks, and all these things, and people are just so, like, as if COVID does not exist. They're still hugging, touching, and, shaking hands.
They weren't afraid of each other. Yeah.
They were not afraid of each other. And so I was like, wow, this is incredible. Like, I guess I'm craving for this, because we had a pretty crazy lockdown in Washington. Like I remember I had to have an essential letter in my car just in case if I was pulled over, like, hey, I'm an essential employee.
Yeah.
So it was pretty crazy and wild. The Pacific Northwest.
The beautiful Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. So anyways, fast forward, we came back and we were just like, what is going on, Lord? What do you want us to do? Because we got this feel of sunshine, like you said, different atmosphere, family. And we just started praying, like, Lord, do something. And a year and a half later, we moved to Tennessee.
That's right.
You like Tennessee?
I love Tennessee.
I'll be honest.
No, for the most part, I love Tennessee.
Yeah.
The
What-
one. Sorry.
No, you go ahead. What don't you like about Tennessee?
Well, the bugs love me. Oh,
Yes.
they love me so much.
I don't know. It's crazy. Even in Florida, you were all bitten up. You look
Yeah.
like someone who's on drugs.
My legs did, yes.
The legs, yes. Not the face or arms.
Yeah. They just love me. I don't know what it is. It must be my blood type.
And out here in Tennessee, we have a bug called no-see-em. Like literally no-see. You can't see them.
Yeah.
And they're just like almost clear, like little...
At least the mosquitoes, you can shoo them away and you
Yeah.
see them coming. But these things,
Until they suck blood.
they're like ghosts.
Yeah. So I feel so bad for her. And I think one of our kids also has
Yeah, some
your
of our
type
kiddos
blood.
are.
Or, I don't know. You're just too sweet.
We don't even know. Is it the blood? What is it?
No, it's because you're too sweet. Like they like the sweetness.
No.
So you don't like the bugs. What else don't you like?
I mean, it's hard to say. There's a lot of things I love, and the one thing that remains kind of on the probably as a con to me is the fact that we still don't have family.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is hard. So we've been without family for almost 8 years now.
Yes.
And excuse me. And we both miss family. We both want to have some family. So we moved out here. I mean, there's a lot of things that I do love. It's kind of like just a perfect balance of California and Washington. So it's very warm and very moody. Like this weather is crazy. Like Christmas week we had snow, and then my parents flew in on the 30th, and January 2nd, we're back to 70, 75 degree weather. We're outside having breakfast on our patio with like t-shirts off. Like it is warm, warm, warm.
Yeah.
And then like 3 or 4 days later, we're back to snow again.
Even yesterday it was so hot.
Oh yeah.
So hot. And today it's cold again.
Yes.
Yeah.
So very, very moody, but it does have the sunshine.
Yeah.
A lot more sunshine. The rain is pretty cool. The thunder in the summer times.
Oh, so amazing. I love the
Yes.
thunder.
Yes.
Remember our first time hearing the thunder? We
Oh,
just
yeah.
opened all the windows and we just like laid there and
Just
watched
laid in
it.
bed and just watching all the lightning. It was pretty cool. So yeah, that's the South for you. But it's very green too.
Yeah. When we moved here, I was like, this looks exactly like Washington.
Yeah.
It was July.
Yes.
But it definitely doesn't remain green for the full year.
Yeah, for sure. So in wintertime, it kind of all
Yeah.
dies out and looks like a scary movie. No, not really.
No.
But I mean, it's winter almost everywhere.
Yeah.
Just kind of the trees thin out.
That's right.
So we did a little bit of church shopping, hopping, visiting,
so
comparing.
weird, yeah.
I guess it's weird, but you got to do that.
Right.
You can't just
yeah.
land somewhere. So we visited about 8, 9 churches, and then we found a church. And I would say church life is so important.
It really is.
It's the glue. Like I feel like I don't know where it would be without attending church, and
Yeah.
because it shapes you in so many different ways.
Yeah, you need other people in your life who will speak into your life and that you can grow with together, and it's important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So then we bought something out here, and we built an addition, like a mother-in-law suite, and hoping one of our parents will move out here and just take that bait, and we're like, hey, the Lord has just blessed us. We want no rent. Just come and be with us.
Yeah, Mom, Dad, if you hear us, please move here.
Say it a little louder.
Mom, Dad.
Yeah. So neither your folks or my parents want to move out here, and that's too bad. So we don't know what the future holds for us, but we are people. So we would love if somebody moves out here, or maybe the Lord just wants something else for us. Maybe we have to move to
Somewhere else.
Last year, guys, we almost moved to California.
Yeah, we had a very strong desire to do so.
Yeah, not to go to California, but to be around family.
Yeah.
And we just spent 3 weeks shopping around, looking at properties and homes and friends. And honestly, most of our friends have discouraged us from moving here.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you, friends. So now we're here, and that's kind of our journey.
Yeah.
So we'll be hearing more, and we'll be touching on a lot more subjects. We'll be touching on, marriage,
Dating.
faith, dating, us dating, our kids dating, or
traveling.
Don't forget sex.
As far as
Sexy time.
intimacy. Traveling, road trip style.
Road trips.
Yeah.
How do we travel with a large family?
Yeah.
Food budgeting. How do we do it on a food budget?
Raising a bunch of daughters.
Yes.
Raising.
Have we mentioned we have 6 daughters?
I don't think we have
7 daughters.
We have 7 daughters.
We have 7 daughters and 2 sons. I always feel like there's more coming, especially when we're driving somewhere or we sit down at the dinner table and there's just like this 1 or 2 spots almost available. It's like we have like a longer table with a bench on one side and then seats on the other. And
we felt that way for last few children. We're like, it doesn't feel complete. Like,
yes.
Like who's not here and everybody's here.
And we're like, are you sure? And then we start doing the countdown. 5, 4, or the name call. Like everyone is here. Wow, it's incredible. So anyways, we'll talk about budgets. We'll talk about entrepreneurship. So we own 2 businesses that we work from home. Home-based businesses are the best.
That's right.
I know it's not for everybody, but it's been a huge blessing leaving the post office. So we'll talk more about that.
Yeah.
Friendships, churches. So we had another theological upgrade, I would say. So we'll talk more about that.
We'll talk about homeschooling some.
Yes, we've been homeschooling this whole time.
Yes, that's right. Different curriculums maybe, because we have tried a few different
Encouragements,
ones.
yep.
Yeah.
Systems, what we're doing, daily disciplines.
Modesty.
Oh, we'll talk a lot on modesty and what it's like to raise sons, what it's like to raise daughters. So
Yeah.
we're just super excited, guys. If you have found any value to any of this, we would love it if you just gave us a 5-star review and left a review. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, if you just like it and if you want to subscribe, great. If not, then maybe next time.
Yeah, we would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, just so you guys know, this is like the new algorithm. It pushes it out when people are leaving reviews and things like that. So by the way, we will be reading every single review and sharing them here occasionally with you guys. So we would support all the encouragement that we get. And thank you for all those prayers we received just in the last few weeks.
Yes.
And so we'll be taking maybe more polls on Instagram and just hearing you guys, what you guys would like for us to talk on. And again, guys, we're nowhere near perfect.
No, we're just here to, I guess, share our mistakes.
Yes, lots of mistakes.
So that hopefully those who are behind us in the child training years, like who
Or
have
ahead.
younger children,
Yeah.
or I guess ahead too, that you guys can learn from our mistakes and maybe things that worked for us. We'd love to be an encouragement and
For sure.
a blessing. We are definitely not trying to teach anyone as
Yes.
if we have arrived.
We're not teachers.
Nope. So just humbly bring you guys our life and pray that it's a blessing to you guys.
Absolutely. So we're committing to a 1 year. Hopefully, maybe this will be a lot more longer, but we're just kind of committed to a 1 year, every week, record every Tuesday. We're going to try to publish this so you guys can hear this. And we're just kind of in for the long haul. And we'll be taking you along our journeys of how we do things. And not everything just comes to my mind right now, but we do have like a series of topics that we'll be covering and stuff that we've heard already from you guys.
That's right.
So we're excited. So
Yes.
anyways, I guess this is it. This is goodbye.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
See you next time. All right. My blessings.